Alright, welcome back everyone. So now it's time to look at the final episode of Arrow Season 1, Sacrifice. Malcolm imprisons Oliver, but he manages to escape and return home with Diggle's help, due to a tracker in his boot, which John also marks to take back his jokes about sticking a tracker in the boot. In a flashback, Edward fires a missile at an approaching airliner, but Oliver and Shadow manage to override the coordinates and destroy the missile. Felicity got caught up by Quentin and brought back to the station for interrogation. In a flashback, it shows that Oliver killed Edward. In the present, Oliver confronts his mother about the undertaking, which prompts her to hold a press conference and reveal to the city her involvement with Malcolm and the plan to destroy the Glades. When Tommy confronts Oliver about his time with Laurel, Oliver tries to explain what's going on with his father on the Glades. Tommy doesn't believe him and tells his father, who reveals it's all true. Tommy sees the press conference and Malcolm reveals that he is the Dark Archer, to the dismay of his son. Meanwhile, Felicity has been brought in for questioning because all the tasks Oliver asked her to do before he revealed he was the vigilante. She hadn't covered her tracks because she didn't realize at the time what she was doing was aiding and abetting. Detective Lance starts to question her, but Oliver calls as the vigilante to explain about the undertaking and how it's going to happen tonight. Felicity hears the call and asks the detective if he really wants her there, since it sounds like he's got something a lot bigger on his plate. Lance releases Felicity with a warning not to leave town. Before she leaves, even though it will almost certainly confirm to Lance that she's flipping the hood, Felicity tells Lance that she initially thought the vigilante was a criminal too, but then she realized all he was sacrificing to help the people of the city. Felicity poses the question, kind of makes him a hero, doesn't it? Lance tries to go to his boss to tell him what's going on, but it's revealed that he's had almost constant contact with the vigilante, so he's suspended. It is until Moira's press conference that the police get involved. Oliver decides to go after Malcolm again, even though he knows it means he'll probably die, because he hasn't beaten him once. Diggle offers to go with him, and Felicity says that leaves the bomb dismantling to her. Oliver refuses, and she points out he doesn't have any other option. He then calls Detective Lance again as a compromise. Felicity will work from the foundry, stay in the Glades but in better shelter. Lance will deactivate the device with her help, and Oliver and Diggle will go after Malcolm. Detective Lance, with help from Felicity, is able to dismantle the earthquake device. John and Oliver sticks an arrow through his shoulder to hit Malcolm's heart, disable Malcolm. But Glow says there is a second device shortly before he loses consciousness. The device activates and begins to level the east side of the Glades. Thea goes into the Glades to save Roy, who works to help others who are trying to escape the earthquake. He refuses to leave the Glades when he sees a busload of people stuck because of a car accident and sends Thea away because he can't help those people if he's worried about her being caught in the undertaking. Laurel, who went to CNRI despite warnings from both Oliver and her father, is trapped in her office when the quake starts and gets stung on her slab of concrete, but Tommy arrives to rescue her. Laurel escapes, but Tommy is caught up by falling debris. Oliver arrives too late to help him. Tommy's fatally wounded and dies after apologizing and making amends to Oliver for fighting and being angry and jealous. Tommy asks if Oliver killed his father, and Oliver lies to him, spending Tommy's last moments holding his hand, insisting it should have been him who died instead of Tommy. Aww. So now let's take a look at some trivia surrounding this episode. The episode was originally titled 52 Wells Street. Unidac Industries is a reference to Unidac, a company in the TV series Wise Guy. Papp Street, under which one of the Markov devices is located, is a reference to George Papp, one of the co-creators of Arrow. The abandoned subway which Quentin Lance enters, Puckett Station, is a reference to Kelly Puckett, one of the co-creators of Connor Hawke, who in the comics is Oliver's son in the second Green Arrow. As Roy's running through the Glades, Cord Industries sign a scene. In the DC Comics, Cord Industries is led by Ted Cord, the alter ego of the superhero Blue Beetle. The airliner in flashbacks is owned by Ferris Air, a company which in the comics employs Hal Jordan, the alter ego of Green Lantern. In the rooftop fight scene between Oliver and the Dark Archer, the distinctive clock tower atop the Vancouver Block building is visible in the background. In Smallville, that building served as a secret lair of Green Arrow. When Thea saves Roy by throwing a bottle at a thug's head, she quips, "I guess I have wicked aim." This is foreshadowing her eventual transformation to Speedy, Oliver's sidekick. When Oliver shoots fire through the throat, this is another reference to the Odyssey. In Antinous, son of Euphrates, one of the suitors for the hand of Penelope, was killed this way by Odysseus in the poem. This episode marks the restart of Oliver and Tommy's friendship, which ended in unfinished business, although Tommy dies shortly after they make amends. When Felicity makes the case to Lance that the vigilante is a hero, the Flash theme plays slowly in the background. This episode marks the final appearance of Colin Donnell as a series regular. This is the last episode to credit Emily Bett Rickards and Colton Haynes as guest stars. From City of Heroes onwards, they are promoted to series regulars. Good. So overall, I think while this finale is dark and grim, it's still pretty good. So, yeah. So overall, I give the episode Sacrifice 5 arrowheads out of 5. Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching Arrowverse August 2021. And next year, we'll be continuing on our look at the Arrowverse with Arrow Season 2. And also, next month, which starts tomorrow, Star Trek Timber 2021 will begin as we take a look at Season 2 of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. So, there you go. Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, in the words of Oliver Queen, you have failed this city.